So here's the thing that I want to make very clear. I've been through this myself. So I have a very personal, real experience with this. And the most important thing that I learned on my journey that I want to share with you is there is no going around yourself. There's no going around it. If your lymph is speaking to you, no matter if it heals or not, or it stays stagnant, or if other symptoms appear and you try to fix them with methods outside of yourself, most often methods that disconnect you from your spirit, most often methods that put you in a position of victim or fear-based mentality, they're not actually helping the issue, the core issue, which is to bring you back into yourself, which is to find a healthy sense of self-esteem, a healthy sense of self in connection with your divinity, with the God source that lives within you that you are connected to. There's no going around it. No matter what, even if your lymph were to heal outside of other methods, you're still going to feel underneath that disconnection from yourself, from your power, from your pure expression, from how you desire to feel. And your body or mind, they're going to bring it up in a different way. It'll just maybe be a different expression of it. Or life will just bring you different situations to mirror this quality back to you, such as in your relationships, in your career, in your finances, whatever it is, to get the message to you. Again, there's no going around yourself. And I can't stress that enough, because that was the key to my healing. That is the key that I help people with. And you don't have to do it with me. You can do it on your own. You can find someone else to work with too. But the point is, I'm really trying to get home, is you can't go around it. Period. So take a look. How is your emotional health? How is your relationship with your emotional side? What or how would you describe your relationship with your self-expression? Does it feel full? Does it feel repressed? Does it feel squashed or belittled at all? Are you held in a box? All of these are indicators that your spirit is feeling constrained. And when our spirit feels constrained, when we do not let our emotional body breathe and express, we are repressed. And that creates internalized stress, resistance, in which disharmonies, chronic illness, depression, all these things happen in this state. So again, I say this with directness. I say this with love because I've been there before. There is no going around yourself. Let me rephrase that. You can do that, actually. You can. That's a choice, and I did that for a long time too. But the true medicine is within you. It's in striking an authentic connection with yourself and letting it express more and more. And it doesn't have to be as difficult or as complicated as the outside world would make you think. That maybe even your brain wants to make it believe right now in this moment, like, oh, that sounds really overwhelming. I get it. And that's the magic that I bring, is making that process very simple and fluid and enjoyable, and to empower you to move into connection with your own intuitive voice more and more into connection with your body, moving into synergy with body and spirit versus trying to fight it or eliminate it or only approach your healing from one facet. Because here's the thing, you're not flat. You are not dull. You are a multidimensional, beautifully colorful, faceted being, and your healing, it wants to honor that. That's what it's asking for. And to be honest, I get frustrated by a lot of the narratives out there around healing and around the medical industry, because they further disconnection with yourself, with your spirit. They can even instill a narrative that we're not doing it correctly or right, or that we're being punished for something. And I see all of these things, these fear-based tactics of the traditional medical system, or these narratives of like, oh, just overpower your body with your mind. All of these things are just ways to limit you. They're not actually working with your full spectrum. Like, you are body, mind, spirit, heart, soul, emotion, creation. And so I truly believe our healing needs to honor that full spectrum. So when we try to control things through the mind by just thinking better thoughts, for example, to overpower our beliefs, it's not going to work. Or it's going to take a ton of slog to get there, to even make some headway, because the body will always overpower the mind. It's designed to. So if something doesn't feel safe to you, there is no thinking your way out of it. It's impossible. Your nervous system will take over. It will override. That's the whole point of it. That's the design. So we can work with it instead. We can ease the narratives that are happening by getting in tune with the body, by getting in tune with greater intelligence that lives within the body, by getting in tune with greater intelligence that you are inherently connected to, source, spirit, divinity, divine love, whatever you want to call it, and letting that come forward more and more, letting that truth, that power come forward more and more to lead you versus being led by victim mentalities. Again, not necessarily easy, but there's no going around it. It also doesn't have to feel like such a slog. It doesn't have to feel super heavy. It doesn't mean you have to bathe in trauma all the time. It can be fun. It can feel light. It can feel very liberating, but there's no going around yourself. That's the point I just want to hammer home. I can't. If there's anything you learn here, anything that you take away with, it's you cannot go around yourself. Your body, these quote unquote symptoms, are expressing a deep desire to be fully embodied in your truth and expression so that you can feel free, so that you can feel alive in your fullness. And your lymph symptoms, or whatever other symptoms are here to help you into that. And when you do this, it connects you with the greater collective. It's not just solo work. It might seem like it's solo work. You're starting with yourself because that's where it has to start, but it radiates beyond you, right? Think about your energy. Think about your aura. You take it with you places. It interacts with other people. It interacts with the greater world. And so when you allow yourself to move into connection with yourself and divinity, with the source that lives within all of us, you help the collective. It's an amazing way to see beyond just our own experiences, because more often than not, people I'm working with, they have this deep-seated desire to help the world heal, to do something greater. And it starts with you. It doesn't end there. It's just the beginning. It radiates beyond you. And so it's just this amazing quality and gift that we can bring to then embody the change that we wish to see in the world. I'm all about looking at the energy. So think about this for a second. Just feel into this. If we were to approach healing by only using physical means, not addressing the mind, not addressing the spirit, okay, there's all of these aspects of yourself. Think about your emotional body, all these aspects of yourself that are being bypassed or ignored, that are actually very potent variables to your overall health and well-being. Okay, next, think about these, I don't even know what to call them anymore, but this mentality that, oh, just think better thoughts, watch your thoughts, think better thoughts, overpower your body by making yourself believe something different. And yet, our nervous system, you can't trick the nervous system. You can't trick it. It might actually feel unsafe to feel joy, for example. And so if you're trying to think better, like joyful thoughts to get you into a state of joy, but you actually can't get there because it doesn't feel safe in your nervous system, what then does that create? For a lot of people I've worked with, it creates this inner dialogue of I'm failing. I can't experience joy. I can't get there. Again, it limits the perspective. It limits the spectrum of what's possible for you. Also, think about methods that don't even include the spiritual side. And I'm not talking about religion here. I want to make that really clear. I'm talking about your direct connection with your spirit, which is your sense of outlook on life, your ability to feel connected in yourself and into life to something greater than us, our dreams, our aspirations, our creativity, and methods that eliminate that aspect, eliminate a whole facet of you. So again, when we look at the energy of this, there's elimination, there's trying to go around certain things, there's trying to disregard parts of yourself. All of that energy is not harmony. That's not harmony, and it doesn't speak to your fullness. So how could it possibly help you? It's crazy when you look at it from that perspective, isn't it? It's so clarifying, thank God. Then there are these methods that are so focused and steeped in trauma. Like we have to bring every ounce of attention to the trauma that we experienced in the past. And I'm not disregarding that. That's very real, and there needs to be a certain level of facing that. But when it's only focused on the past experiences and not how these traumatic patterns are influencing us now, that we typically now are the ones keeping them alive and in place and stagnant. Like no one's talking about that it actually can be a fun process to unwind those things, that it doesn't actually always have to be such a heavy process, that it doesn't have to always feel like a slog, that it actually can be really fun to open up new possibilities within yourself, that the story can actually transform and transmute into something greater. That's the whole purpose of it. It's not to reside in it, it's to learn from it and create something of greater vibration, greater contribution from it. Again, to bring you back deeper into connection with yourself, to share that with the collective healing, collective growth. I talk to people all the time that express to me, Steve, I'm a really healthy person. I'm so healthy. I watch what I eat. I exercise. And my immediate question is, okay, but how do you feel about yourself? What's your perception of yourself? How would you describe your relationship with your emotional side? Do you feel fully expressed? Do you feel like you're holding something back? And it often goes very quiet. And I get it, because we've been conditioned to believe that healthy means the healthy physicality. But again, we are not flat. We are multidimensional, multifaceted, beautiful, colorful beings. We have a body. We have a mind. We have a spirit. We have a heart. We have a soul. We feel things. We're designed to feel things. We're not designed to only feel certain things. We're designed to feel it all. What's your relationship with that like? Right? These are the questions we have to start asking to move into a fuller, freer expression of ourselves. And it's okay to not know right now in this moment how to do that. So I want to give you that permission. It's okay to not have the answers right now. The point is, I'm sensing that you're feeling something here. That something is feeling very resonant. So just trust that. Let it breathe. That's all you need to do in this moment. Is just, isn't this interesting how this is resonating with me, that it's touching on something deeper that maybe I've had a pulse on, or maybe I can't quite explain it, but it feels spot on for me. Trust it. Trust your feeling. Trust what you're sensing. If you want help with this work, if you want help with this kind of healing that works with your multifaceted being, with your full spectrum, I am here for you. This is my expertise. This is what I do, and this is what I love to do. But if you're feeling like, you know what, there is something here for me, I can feel this, like I can feel the truth in it for me, then I welcome you to set up a call with me, because I would love to connect with you and get it started. Again, there is no going around yourself and your spirit. They're inviting you in to transformation. The lymphatic system is our system of defense. So where do you have walls up within yourself that are ready to dissolve, that are ready to have a full spectrum relationship with you, which leads to greater freedom, greater expression, to which we can then radiate it from within to those around us, to the world at large, creating profound change. That's the gift in it all.